L15i train heat pump. And the maintenance guy was out here at the end of the day yesterday, one of kind of our maintenance technicians, kind of just getting started. He's in school part-time 2 days. Well, he goes to school 2 full days a week, but he works here part-time in between. And he came out here to do the maintenance, and they got, typically you get here and they say, oh, I got a unit not working, and you hope that when they call them with the reminder, hey, your appointment's tomorrow, we're just reminding you. If they know the unit's not working, they'll say something. But they don't, and you just send the maintenance guy out here, and then, you know, they're still getting acclimated to figuring out things. But anyway, he got here and the fuse was blown. I've got the disconnect out right now. He said one of the fuses was blown in it, and when he put one in and he started it, there was a big pop or something when it tried to start. And let's see if we can figure it out. The contactor's pulled in now. I'm gonna double check the fuses. Hey, get this, guys. Yeah, I've never seen that in 20 some years. Went to a house last week. Unit was empty of refrigerant. It was about a 16-year-old AC furnace. Heat exchanger was cracked. We set up an appointment, give them an estimate to replace the system. We go out there, replace the system, and then we do the pressure test on the lines in the indoor unit. Get ready to, you know, before we always pressure test everything before we pull the vacuum on it, obviously, and it wouldn't hold pressure. Come to find out, somebody, and this is in an area in southeast Raleigh, so if you're familiar with this area, I say southeast Raleigh, that'll explain everything. But we try to work everywhere and do what we can for everybody. But it was a 45 caliber bullet hole through the side of the house. It went right through the suction line. I'll show you this picture. And I gotta tell you, I've seen a BB hole in the outdoor unit. I've never seen a bullet through an outdoor unit or anything. And somebody had shot at these people. And it's a kind of a older apartment community in a kind of a rough area. Not a rough area, but it has its reputations. But evidently somebody had shot at them at some point. And I guess that's when they called and said the unit wasn't working. When it was all said and done, a bullet hole through the line. Go figure that. So anyway, let's test this. Let's see if he blew the fuse again. I hope he didn't, because I don't have any fuses after run. Okay, so our fuses are still good. So the contactor's pulled in, and let me check some things to ground real quick. Alright, so I'm not getting anything to ground on the in or outsides of the contactor. Oh, let's see. Look at the top of that start relay right there. Some soot. Some soot on it. That's for sure. So I'm going to disconnect my low voltage here. Open that contactor. I'm gonna put this disconnect back in. I'm gonna push the contactor in and see what happens. That way I can release it real quick before it pops the fuse, hopefully. See if I've got voltage here. Alright, so we've got 244 volts. Go around this compressor wire real quick and do an inrush on it. So I'm hoping it's going to be a start kit problem. We'll find out. The inrush is 44 amps. That's not horrible. But that soot on that, I felt a little bit of resistance when that thing tried to start. There's soot on this start relay. Let me check that start capacitor. And see what it's reading. Ooh, I saw a spark on it. I discharged it. Let me check, make sure I still don't have any voltage. I shouldn't. Zero, zero, zero. Maybe that was just, there we go. A little spark from where it discharged, maybe. Huh. Let's get the wires off of it and test it and see what we got. $186. I don't like seeing soot on top of these relays. The black ones you couldn't do. The white ones, you'll see the soot come out of the little openings in it, and it'll soot the thing up. The old black ones, you couldn't tell if it was doing anything like that or not. Let's get that thing out and take a look at it. Yeah, I mean, it ran. It didn't blow the fuse on me, but you see that soot coming out of those little holes where this thing snaps together. And I rubbed some of it off with my finger, but I'm gonna guess if we pop that thing open, it's gonna be look like a dirty fireplace in there. That might be what popped that fuse. Anyway, let's get it apart. So, yeah, there you go. That thing's smoked. It's probably shorting in there. It's probably what popped the fuse. That thing is toasted. So, got a new one right there. I'm gonna get it wired up and get it put on, get it mounted, and we'll fire it up. Alright guys, so what I have done here is the box on the new relay. Now, I don't like the way that mounts in there because it mounts with the wires up against the cabinet, where this one wires or mounts differently, so the wires are facing away from the cabinet. So what I did is I just took the guts out of this one. The box is exactly the same except for where your little mounting tab is. That's the old one. So I took the guts out of the new relay and just the little tabs on the side. You can push them out and snap it right back in to the original box so that I can go back in there and mount it the same way. So the relay is good. It's replaced. It's the new relay. I'm just reusing the old mounting box where I snap this one out and just snap the new one in so I can get it to mount the way it's the way it should. I don't want anything mounted with the wires sitting up close to the cabinet where something might arc, and that's the way this one did. Not to mention, when I tightened the screw, that broke anyway, so I didn't really have a choice. And that's because I was playing with it, trying to find a way to mount it. But if you mount this one, these wires right here are going to be sitting up here by the cabinet, and I don't want anything like that to risk something arcing and causing another problem. I want them to face away like that, so I'm going to reuse the old box. New relay, old box. Okay, so I've got it in there and mounted the way it should be, and we'll put the power back in it and start it up. Make sure it starts okay. Alrighty, grab my meter. Boom. Set it for inrush, and let's push the contactor in and see what happens. All right, I believe that's going to take care of it. And something else I like to check when I'm diagnosing one of these, I mean, this is a new relay. Probably should have checked it on the old one, but what happens sometimes is, I'll take that off inrush. I don't need it on inrush right now. What will happen sometimes is that relay will stick and it won't open. And that might have been what was happening with that one down there. If it sticks closed, take your little brown wire, one of your wires coming off your capacitor down there, your start capacitor, put your amp clamp around it, and you should get a very temporary amp draw on that when that relay closes and opens to start the compressor. If it continues to pull amps, and if it sticks closed and continues to pull amps, it's going to eventually trip that breaker, pop the fuse, or burn that thing up, and that's probably what was happening to it. So now you'll see what I'm talking about here. So now I'm checking the amp draw coming off of that relay to the capacitor, and you'll get a short spike, and then it should go back to zero. Just like that. Now we're back to zero. If that relay sticks, that amp draw will keep going up and up and up and up, and then you'll get that situation where the fuse or the breaker trips, or that thing burns up altogether. But anyway, all right guys, got this one squared away. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.